Hstv. We are broadcasting live from our studio at 2nd Kanda Link in Accra. You are selective across all our social media handles at Hstv Live GH. Do not forget to follow, like, comment, and share. Coming up in our news bulletins for today. We demand a complete overhaul of all security protocols at the Electoral Commission, NDC tells EC. Still on the demand from EC, NDC demands answers from Electoral Commission and calls for thorough investigation. Away from that, we'll come your way with the Kufuor administration, the biggest political scam ever, says Mahama. And then in international front, we would come your way with Iran launches retaliatory attack on Israel with hundreds of drones and missiles. We have details of these stories and many others coming up your way in the next 30 minutes. Just stay with us. My name is Praisebell Rosamond Labi. And now let's settle for the detail of the stories into our very first story. The General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, Fifi Fiavikwete, is demanding a complete overhaul of all security protocols at the Electricity Commission of Ghana, EC. He says there's a crucial need to review and strengthen security protocols ahead of the 2024 elections for the well-being of the nation and the people of Ghana. Speaking at the latest Moment of Truth series at the party on Monday, April 15, he asserted that investigations must be conducted with oversight from credible, independent international bodies. We further call for the comprehensive review and overhaul of all security protocols within the EC to ensure that such breaches cannot occur in the future. The breaches referred to concern the alleged theft of biometric verification registration, that is the BVR, devices and laptops at the EC.
Might they be misleading this country about? Here is the alarming revelation, ladies and gentlemen. Not only do we have stolen components of biometric voters registration, BVR kits, on our hands, but we also are dealing with missing biometric verification devices, BVDs. This disclosure was made at the IPAC meeting on Tuesday, April 9, 2024, by the Electoral Commission when they briefed stakeholders on the Commission's biometric equipment. Regarding the missing and unretrieved biometric verification devices, BVD, the NDC indicated at the IPAC meeting that many of the questions raised about the stolen components of the registration kits apply to the BVDs. Specifically, Ghanaians also needed answers to the following questions about the missing BVDs. Now the remaining 7 questions. Question 29. Have all unretrieved missing BVDs been returned to the EC headquarters? 30. What are the serial numbers of these BVDs? 31. Which polling stations were the BVDs deployed to? 32. What are the names of the persons who were in charge of the BVDs when these BVDs were last deployed to polling stations? 33. What are the protocols for the deployment of BVD to polling stations? 34. Were these protocols adhered to in respect of the missing BVDs? 35. Who has personal responsibility for the safe custody and return of BVDs deployed to polling stations? In light of these bizarre circumstances, it is imperative that the Electoral Commission addresses these urgent and critical questions immediately. The inaction and lack of transparency we've observed are not only unacceptable, but deeply concerning. We, the National Democratic Congress, NDC, along with the citizens of Ghana, immediately demand prompt and comprehensive responses to the questions we have laid out. Now let me address a matter of grave concern regarding the technical and security implications of the stolen or missing biometric equipment. Over time, some top officials and commissioners of the EC have made pronouncements that are not only weak and inadequate, but also indicative of a troubling lack of understanding of the complexities of electoral security and their broader implications by the very commissioners of the EC who are supposed to be knowledgeable and to act very appropriately. Now, the assertions that the laptops contain no EC information and therefore their theft poses no risk or impact apart from the financial loss was first made by Mr. Samuel Tete, Deputy Chairperson in charge of operations of the Electoral Commission. And this was repeated by Dr. Hstv, Director of Electoral Services, over the weekend on the Joy News File program, political program. Now, their claim is that the laptops are merely components of the BVR kits and can only interact or interfere with the EC's database system when they are activated with activation codes. Therefore, according to them, the stolen laptops will have no implications since no one will be able to activate them. Firstly, this erroneous narrative provided by Dr. Hstv and Mr. Tete in the attempt...
Let's stay a bit longer at the headquarters of the opposition party. The National Democratic Congress, NDC, has made a call for an immediate and impartial investigation coupled with an unbiased audit to shed light on the circumstances surrounding the reported theft of the biometric voter registration BVR kits from the Electoral Commission's headquarters. Amid concerns raised by the recent announcement of the interdiction of 3 officials over the alleged BVR theft, the NDC stressed the crucial need for transparency to ensure the integrity of the upcoming 2024 general elections. At the moment of truth series held at the NDC headquarters, General Secretary Hstv Avikwiti underscored the gravity of the situation, cautioning against undermining its significance. He expressed apprehension that the handling of the issue by the Electoral Commission risks enduring through in the electoral process.
It's fought tirelessly to establish. The lackadaisical attitude and dismissive responses from the Electoral Commission officials in the face of such a breach are unacceptable and insult the very intelligence of every Ghanaian. We demand immediate and decisive action from the Electoral Commission. The time for excuses is over. The time for transparency, accountability, and rectification is now. Ghana is watching, and the world is watching. The integrity of our elections and the future of our democracy hang in the balance. Let us be clear. We would accept nothing less than a full restoration of total security for all EC logistical equipment for the upcoming elections, a thorough investigation, and a complete accountability. Anything short of this represents an affront to our nation's future. We are gathered here today not just to express our outrage, but to ignite a collective demand for immediate and sweeping corrective action, and it must act now. Now, before we discuss the substantive issues, I want to publicly appreciate the patriotic Ghanaian whistleblowers across various sectors who continue to provide the NDC with vital information about the blatant aberrations that are going on, the abuse of power, and the organized thievery within the public sector under the non-performing Akufo-Addo-Bawumia government. We all know how this non-performing and incompetent NPP government has inflicted unprecedented hardship on our people, with staggering levels of unemployment, high inflation, a dislodged exchange rate, hikes in transportation fares, and food.
Away from that, let's move straight into the ruling New Patriotic Party flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, John Dramani Mahama, has labeled the ruling NPP administration led by the Akufo-Addo Bawumia as the biggest political scam in the history of the Fourth Republic. According to him, the present government has been packed beautifully in deceit to win political power. The former president, most of the promises of the NPP government are yet to be redeemed. For this reason, he tagged the government a scam. John Mahama, in addressing the gathering, some issues which have stalled the development of the country. According to him, he will be surprised if Ghanaians retained the NPP in power after what he describes as abysmal performance. The former president earlier paid a courtesy call on Gambrana and the chief imam of Gambaga. He also visited the Nairi overlord of Mamprogi.
Today, after 7.5 years of MPP administration, if you take the total national debt and you say we should share it amongst all the 30 million Ghanaians, each of us will pay 20,000 Ghana cedis. That is the extent of the damage that has been done to this economy. A government that just thought that borrowing and spending was all that you should do. But it's the hypocrisy that is annoying. This is the same government where somebody said that if it was just borrowing and spending, even their child in primary school can be president. And they said the money is there. I worked in Bank of Ghana, I know the money is there. We can develop this country without borrowing. Today, look at where they've ended us. Inflation is high. Hardship is across the land. There's no support for farmers. The cocoa industry has collapsed. This government has been a disaster. Indeed, I say that the Akufo-Addo-Bawumia administration is the biggest political scam in the history of the Fourth Republic. They package themselves very beautifully with a lot of lies and deceit, and they got the people to vote for them. Today is just a story of broken promises. One village, one dam. Where are the dams? One district, one factory. Where are the factories? $1 million per constituency per year. Where is the 1 million? And that's why my brother Haruna said, when you go to woo a woman, you can add deceit to it. You can deceive her to win her. But after you win her and she comes into your house, you can't use deceit to keep her in your house. After what we have gone through in 7.5 years, it surprises me anybody who will still go to the ballot box and say he's going to vote for MPP again. Maybe those who have made money under this government, yes, they will go and vote again. But I know that the majority of Ghanaians have seen a reversal in the quality of their lives in these 7.5 years. And the majority of Ghanaians who are feeling the pinch, the majority of Ghanaians who are finding it difficult to put food on the table for your children, the majority of Ghanaians who are finding it difficult to travel because you cannot afford transport fares, the drivers of this country who can't buy fuel, the teachers who do not have learning aids in school, the nurses who have finished school and are sitting at home. 4 batches of nurses have finished nursing training and they have no work to do. I know that the majority of those people will make a good choice.
Let's stay a bit longer on the opposition party. John Dramani Mahama, the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, has pledged to tackle security issues in the 6 newly formed regions by setting up military barracks in each region if he emerges victorious on the 2024 general elections. The regions include Savannah, Northeast, Bunu East, Ahafo, Western North, and Uti regions. He made this commitment during his speech at Gambaga in the Northeast region as a part of his building the Ghana We Want tour. Recognizing the urgent need for improved security in these new regions, John Dramani Mahama stressed the importance of proactive steps to ensure the residents' safety and well-being. He plans to enhance the security infrastructure and provide a quick response to emerging threats and incidents by setting up military barracks in each region.
All the 6 new regions are going to have a military barracks so that the Ghana Army will be present in all the regions. In addition, we're going to form joint military and police anti-armed robbery squads. And one of those squads will be here in the Northeast to fight armed robbery. Because we want you to have peace and security to be able to go about your duties. And we know that our 24-hour economy policy cannot work unless there's security and safety for everybody. There are a lot of issues that need to be resolved with regards to being a new region. In 2020, when I came here, I gave you a hint of some of the things we intend to do. NDC's policy is that every region of this country must have a regional hospital, it must have a public university campus, it must have a sports recreation facility like a sports stadium. So I want to assure the Northeast region and all the 5 other new regions that these are facilities that NDC has committed to provide when we come into office after 7th January 2025. I bring him greeting from his daughter Lodina. She was here recently to visit her project at the witches camp. She says that she hopes that if NDC wins the election, Parliament has passed the anti-witchcraft bill and it is awaiting the signature of the president. And if the president signs it, she will involve herself in how to rehabilitate the women back in their communities where they come from. And so she said I should extend her regards to her father, the Gambaga Rana.
And that was the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, John Dramani Mahama. Away from that, let's move straight into our next story. Former leading member of the New Patriotic Party, Hstv Adoye, has emphasized that nothing can cause his return to the party. The Deputy National Security Coordinator emphasized that even though he did not personally resign from the party, no amount of compensation can cause his return. The New Patriotic Party in November 2023 revoked the membership of Hstv Adoye, Yalboaben Asamoah, Nana Ohene Into and Boniface Abubakar Sadiq, attributing the decision to the public endorsement of a presidential aspirant other than the party's elected flag bearer, Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia. And now on those no Precious Azuma is on standby to bring you some news in the sports world. We'll be right back.
Would you like to own a home, start a business, provide seed money, or a good education for your children? The Pro Wealth Plan answers all of life's questions. This is Ekwa 9. She wants to be an engineer in future. Her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Hammond, plan to give her the best education but don't want to be unnecessarily burdened when she's ready for university in 10 years. Do you know how much it will cost Ekwa to go to a local private university or university abroad in the next 10 years? Ekwa's parents have signed up to a Pro Wealth Plan. They pay affordable monthly premiums that ensures they are able to fund Ekwa's university fees and living expenses. When she's ready for university, Prudential will pay the maturity benefit and her parents can enjoy free insurance cover for an additional 5 years. In the unfortunate event that her parents pass away, Prudential will pay over 200% of the sum assured, which is 100% immediately, 10% annually to keep Ekwa in her current school, and 100% at maturity for her chosen university. This means that Prudential Life has guaranteed Ekwa's education regardless of life's uncertainties. The Pro Wealth Plan also covers a spouse or partner up to the same sum assured. With over 26 million customers, 24,000 employees globally, and over 170 years experience, you and your family can have peace of mind knowing that you are in safe hands. Whatever your financial goals are, the Pru Wealth Plan has the answers to life's questions. Call us today and let Prudential secure your future.
Hello there, good afternoon, and it's time for sports news right here on News in 30. I am Precious Azuma. Now let's get into it today. Starting from the camp of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, they are currently suffering with a string of disappointing results, prompting club legend Opoku Inti to lash out at the current crop of players. And the Porcupine Warriors have endured a 7-game winless streak, placing mounting pressure on the head coach Prosper Nate Ogum and his squad. However, Opoku Inti, a revered figure in Kumasi Asante Kotoko history, minced no words in his assessment of the team's recent performance, but he went on to express his dismay, highlighting his belief that certain players are failing to meet the high standards associated with the club. His criticism did not only stop there. He went on to urge the current players to raise their level of commitment and dedication to match the club's lofty ambitions. Now let's talk about our own former Black Stars captain Asamoah Gyan, and he has expressed regret at not being able to fulfill his dream, which is to play for Kumasi Asante Kotoko, due to a string of injuries that ultimately led to his retirement from professional football in the year 2023. So the renowned striker, who concluded his contract with Legon Cities before retiring, disclosed the setbacks he faced in pursuing his aspirations of joining one of Ghana's most prominent clubs, which is Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Now let's move on to my last story for today. And the Ghana Football Association Disciplinary Committee has come out with its verdict on the documents falsification case against former Kotoko striker Solomon Safo Taylor. So in the ruling posted on the GFA social media platform yesterday, it was said the player has been banned for 3 years. The ban means Solomon Safo Taylor cannot feature in any competition organized by the GFA in the next 3 years. Hence, his license has been revoked. And now we're all on sports news right here on News in 30. I am Precious once again. There's more news coming up right here with Praise Bell.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. And that was Precious Azuma giving us news and updates in the sports. Well, now let's settle for the remaining stories. And to remind you, you're still watching the News in 30, and then we're also streaming live on our YouTube channel at Hstv Live G. Do not forget to subscribe, like, follow, and then also comment. Now, let's move on into the next story. KGTR Market has once again been disconnected from the National Park grid due to over 70 cedis debt management of the facility owned the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG. The market has has been depending on a power plant as an alternative energy source since the ECD disconnected the facility about a week ago. Traders call on government to help solve the issue at hand as soon as possible.
Really affecting us because the customers coming in to buy, they might feel when they enter, someone might snatch their bag or their phone, so they won't even enter to buy something. So it's really affecting us.
A better lighting. And I might get the aircraft from. Just what we could room were tidy. And I know, Saturday say, yeah, but now I saw the coil. Friday, sir, and then that's what about better soon. Young tidy, so be ready at the crown or better. One more sonic, a clear be I said, said the nature no more powerful. We know. I had so rough. I had a fancy or that a form yes, a form. I had a ground floor and to see a mala it's not for day in fact easy. I had shit. Oh, markets now is slow because we walk around room who soon pay. No one sign a chino team. It's a light in the yes, I am why.
Ashanti region, let's move straight into the central region. The University of Cape Coast has conferred an honorary degree of law on the paramount chief of the Ogua traditional area, Osabre Makwesi Atal II. The honorary award is in recognition of his distinguished service to the university, the central region, Ghana, and the world at large, and particularly for his commitment to promoting peace, unity, and development. The Chancellor of the university said Sam Esenjona in his address commended the Omahin for his outstanding leadership in ensuring the university has lived in harmony with surrounding communities over the years. Osabre made love for the Cape Coast, his contribution to the university, his role in promoting regional unity and peace, and his advocacy for local development made him an exemplary honoree. Indeed, this honor is long overdue, Dr. Joel said. The Vice-Chancellor of the University, Professor Johnson Nyakubuaben, restated the school's continuous commitment to recognizing and renewing individuals who contribute to the advancement of the society.
The establishment of our university on lands that include those of the Ogua traditional area has been both beneficial and lately challenging. I commend the forbearance and the management of the challenges by Osaberima and his predecessors, which have prevented potential conflicts. And in this regard, I support the ongoing efforts led by Professor Amonu Kofi and others to address these issues collaboratively. Osabarima's love for Cape Coast, his contributions to the university, his role in promoting regional unity and peace, and his advocacy for local development make him an exemplary honoree. Indeed, this honor is long overdue.
The University of Cape Coast has a rich tradition of recognizing excellence and achievement and has in the past awarded honorary degrees to distinguished individuals, many of whom have contributed significantly to the advancement of society. What makes today's award ceremony significant, however, is the fact that it is the first time the university community is publicly acknowledging the contribution of our landlord, Osabre Makwesi Atal, Omahin of Ogua traditional.
This problem between the university and the villages. We have already started, and I'm told the preliminary report is nearly finished. Hopefully, within the next week or so, we'll sit down and see how it will go. But I want to assure you that I will spend all the time available to me to make sure that whatever it is that is bothering the smooth teaching and the peaceful existence of this institution, I will do whatever I have to do to make sure.
Away from the central region, now let's go into global trends, and then we'll be right back to take that. International front, Iran launched explosive drones and fire missiles at Israel late on Saturday in its first direct attack on Israeli territory, a regulatory strike that raised the threat of a wider regional conflict as the U.S. pledged backing for Israel. Sirens wailed and returns journalists in Israel had distant heavy tanks and banks from what local media called a really interception of explosive drones. Authorities said a 7-year-old girl was critically injured. U.S. President Joe Biden spoke by phone with the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, said he would convene a meeting of leaders of the group of 7 major economies on Sunday to coordinate a diplomatic response to what he called Iran's Basan attack. 6 months into the Israeli-Hamas war in Gaza and amid growing risks of a greater regional war, Israel quoted a senior White House official as saying Biden also told Netanyahu the U.S. would oppose any Israeli counter-attack against Israel.
At this very moment, to defend Israel from Iran's attack. So far, we have intercepted the vast majority of incoming missiles by Israeli systems.
The Iranian salvo of more than 200 drones and missiles caused light damage to one Israeli military facility, Yagui said. The Israeli military later said it was not advising any residents to prepare to take shelter. This revision of an earlier alert appeared to signal the end of the threats. Israel's Channel 12 TV cited an unnamed Israeli official as saying there would be a significant response to the attack. Iran had vowed retaliation for what it called an Israeli strike on its Damascus consulate on April 1st that killed 7 officers of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, including 2 commanders. Tehran said a strike was punishment for Israeli crimes. Israel has neither confirmed nor denied responsibility for the consulate attack. However, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said America did not see conflict with Iran but would not hesitate to act to protect U.S. forces and support defense of Israel. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres condemned Iran's attack, saying he was deeply alarmed about the very real danger of a devastating region-wide escalation. Also, Russian Deputy UN Ambassador Polyansky said on the Telegram social media app that in addition to a letter from Israel, the Security Council had received one from Iran asserting its attack was within the UN Charter framework governing the right to self-defense.
I have never seen in any country, anywhere, that attacking another country and war makes people happy. But tonight, people gave up their sleep so that they can come here and show how important this war is to us, and how glad we are from this attack on Israel.
And those where we're going to take leave of you, but then before I go, let's take a recap of our headlines for today. We demand complete overhaul of all security protocols at Electoral Commission, NDC tells EC. NDC demands answers from the Electoral Commission and calls for thorough investigation. And in other news, we also came your way with a Akufo-Addo administration as the biggest political scam ever, Mahama says. And then on the international front, we came your way with Iran launches retaliatory attack on Israel with hundreds of drones and missiles. We came here with details of these stories and many others from our studio at 2nd Kanda Link in Accra. We are selective across all our social media handles at Hstv Live GH. Do not forget to follow, like, comment, and share. My name once again is Praisebell Rosamond Labi. Do stay with us and enjoy the rest of our programs. Have a good afternoon.